Those years in quest of honor mine. Prologue. Who in the world hath not heard of thee? A dozen or so carriages were waiting in a line on the street outside of Prince Jianan estate. Servants were coming in and out the corner gate, bustling about as they loaded the luggage onto the carriages. In a wine shop across the street, a few people were popping their heads out and craning their necks as they looked, muttering to each other hesitatingly. What's happening? What are they doing at the prince's estate? His Majesty's birthday is in 3 months. It was said that those lords in the mansion are going to the capital to offer felicitations. Are they coming back? Nonsense. It's not like there's anything for them to do afterwards. His Majesty celebrates it every year. Why do they have to go this time? How should I know? Get back to work. The owner of the wine shop slapped their heads and drove them away. With a big grin on his face, he personally poured the customer a cup of tea. Sorry about that. Please allow me. No matter. The customer was an outsider. He enjoyed listening in on the conversation they had earlier, so he asked, Is there more than one lord in the prince's estate? I heard that Prince Jianan is still in his teenage years. Apparently, he has already taken a wife, too. No, the owner smiled. Apart from Commandery Prince Jianan, he has a little brother and sister living there. The customer nodded. After hesitating for a while, he said, Why would the royal descendants end up at the poor and barren land here? The owner finished his sentence with a laugh. Well, it all started in the days of the late emperor. The southern border was far from the emperor and the people here were more open. They never shunned political topics. Since it was still early in the morning and there weren't any other customers around, the owner simply sat down and slowly explained it to him. The late emperor had 6 princes. In his later years, he set his heart on 2 of them, the 2nd and 6th princes. The 2nd prince was older and more prudent, while the 6th prince was young and intelligent. They say that the late emperor preferred his youngest son more in his later years, but the 6th prince was too young. He had just turned 15 in the year of the late emperor's demise. Perhaps he thought that the prosperity of the country needed an older, more experienced monarch. At the time of his death, the late emperor still eventually passed the throne to the 2nd prince, who is known as His Majesty today. After the demise of the old emperor, noble consort Joan, the 6th prince's mother, was in so much grief that she passed away as well. And the younger imperial consort Joan, the 6th prince's aunt, who also entered the palace as a concubine, went along with them. Furthermore, it was immediately found out that the 6th prince's maternal family had also committed crimes. With this series of events, the 6th prince's position suffered a sudden, devastating blow. The customer nodded understandingly. It is an awkward place to be in indeed. The owner and the customer smiled at each other, mincing the words that could not be said before continuing, but His Majesty is rather benevolent to the 6th prince. In the 2nd year after he ascended the throne, he conferred the title of Imperial Prince Ning along with all kinds of other generous rewards to the 6th prince who had yet to come of age. The customer frowned. All of a sudden, a thought flashed past his mind, so he slapped the table and exclaimed, Imperial Prince Ning. The one who had been taken as a prisoner during the war. The owner nodded, indeed. In the 15th year of Tahi, the northern barbarians invaded our lands. I'm not sure if this esteemed guest knows about this, but there is an iron law decreed by our great founding emperor where a prince has to set off to war with the army to raise their spirits. That year, His Majesty's sons were either sick or too young, so he sent Prince Ning. The customer hesitated. That's... Ha ha ha. It doesn't matter if it's his own brother or son. The owner then added thoughtfully, Little peasants like us would not know how the war fared. We only heard news that Prince Ning was too anxious to prove his worth, so he acted prematurely. He was no match for the enemy. He was taken as a prisoner of war and fell to his demise at the northern border half a year later. Somebody from the front line even mentioned that in actuality, Prince Ning had defected to the enemy's side. As to how the events actually transpired, nobody knows for sure. Imperial Princess Ning lost her life when she gave birth to the twins, leaving behind the eldest son of 10 years and a pair of 2-year-old twins. The three lords were anxious as they were in quite the predicament. If it's true that Prince Ning has defected, then these children. The customer shared his worries as well. Would be implicated too. His Majesty is benevolent and has kept the rumors under control. He didn't take out his anger on Prince Ning's 3 innocent children. The owner smiled calmly. Apart from that, he even made an exception and allowed Prince Ning's heir, who just turned 10, to inherit the same title as his father. It's generous treatment indeed. The owner cast a glance outside, saying, "Now, the prince residing in Prince Jianan's mansion is the aforementioned heir of Prince Ning, along with his twin brother and sister." The customer was confused again. Hesitating for a while, he said, "You mentioned earlier that Prince Ning's heir inherited the same title as him, but the one out here right now is obviously the mansion of a commandery prince instead of Imperial Prince Ning's." "Ha ha ha ha. That's because not long after the prince's arrival, he immediately requested that His Majesty reduce him in rank to a commandery prince, saying that he lacked both the virtue and the talent to accept His Majesty's grace. The commandery prince based Jianan as his fief, which naturally turned him into Prince Jianan. 7 years have passed since then, and Prince Jianan is well and at peace in our land." The customer thought about it in detail momentarily. Having finally understood the whole story, he sighed. Prince Jianan is still young, yet he's intelligent, sensible, and has a sense of propriety as well. The owner laughed and shook his head. "On that, you are mistaken." The customer was puzzled, so the owner said in an unhurried pace, "Of course Prince Jianan is naturally brilliant, but he was still very young at that time. How could he have understood these things?" "That's right." The customer counted the years and said, "Prince Jianan was only around 10 at that time." "How did?" The owner said, "Actually, it was another person in the mansion who saved the prince and his siblings." The customer asked who the person was at once. The owner gave a secretive smile, saying, "There's no need for me to explain who he is. I'm sure the esteemed guest must have heard about him before." The customer sneered, "I've just arrived here. How would I know?" "Zhongwan," the owner said with a smile, "has the esteemed guest ever heard of him before?" The customer's eyes gradually widened. He then slapped the table, exclaiming in excitement, "That name has rung through the imperial capital and traveled across Jiangnan. Are you saying it's the Zhongwan who has been long yearned after and wished for by the young Prince Yu? Who in the world has never heard of him before?" End of prologue. Those Years in Quest of Honor Mine. Chapter 1. Zhongwan sneezed. "It's already autumn. Young Master Zhong, have you caught a cold?" said the local county magistrate in a courteous manner within the central hall. "Every day, young Master Zhong works so hard in and out of the estate. You must take good care of yourself. Don't neglect yourself. How can one not get sick when all one eat is the same 5 types of grain? I remember that when young Master Zhong had first arrived, you were not used to living here and fell ill for a year. Now, it's the middle of autumn, and Hanlu is just around the corner." Due to the county magistrate's trying monologue about his health conditions, Zhongwan could not help but have his thoughts drift away. However, his expression remained very amiable, and he nodded again and again. More than 15 minutes later, the county magistrate finally got to the point. This humble official has worked in this position for a long time yet has never entered the capital. However, this humble official has heard of young Prince Yu's elegant demeanor and possesses a strong admiration for him. I hope to one day have a chance to enter the capital and pay an official visit to His Highness. Only then would this humble official not be disappointed." The county magistrate carefully smiled at Zhongwan. Word has it that back then, the prefecture magistrate was able to pay an official visit to young Prince Yu by using a token of young Master Zhong. Zhongyuan fell into a daze once more. When he had just arrived at Nanjiang, the days at the prince estate were hard to endure. Everyone could tell that the emperor tossed away Prince Ning's 3 children to such a barren and impoverished region so that they must fend for themselves. For the officials managing the fiefdom to not pay an official visit was already considered good. Those with evil schemes tried to please those in the capital who desired the death of the 3 children. At that time, Zhongyuan had only been in his teenage years. Trying to protect the prince estate that was on the verge of collapse had proved difficult to the extreme. In the past, Prince Ning had given Zhongyuan a great grace. As such, even if he had no idea, he still had to rack his brains on how to save the estate. First, he helped the heir, Xian Rui, to have the title he was supposed to inherit from Prince Ning returned to him from the emperor, so as to slightly dispel the emperor's doubts. But this would only grant them a temporary reprieve. Nanjiang was barren and impoverished in the first place. If they could not control the populace there, one would fear they would lose even their fiefdom. Zhongyuan would rather be shameless than let the people of the estate starve. And so, Zhongyuan had to turn to drastic measures. In the past, he had been Xian Rui's reading partner. Because the imperial preceptor had taught a crowd of princes and princesses, Zhongyuan reluctantly had a bit of a friendly acquaintanceship with the young Prince Yu. From there, he fabricated a story that he and young Prince Yu had grown up together. He later added that Yushi considered him as a friend. As time went on, Zhongyuan grew more and more shameless. He simply said he and Yushi shared a deep and intimate friendship. Over the years, even if Zhongyuan had begged for something before, he would not be able to obtain it. But now, whatever he had asked for, he would receive. Yushi had been young back then and did not have true power. However, his father was the country's sole prince of the first rank of a different surname. His mother was the full-blooded sister of the emperor, the royal princess Angguo. His identity was extremely noble. If others were to be in his presence, they would naturally know how much deference they needed to show him. Back then, Zhongyuan had been implicated because of Prince Ning and had been stripped of his status as a civilian and was turned into a slave. Back then, young Prince Yu purchased him. He lived in Prince Yu's estate for half a year in a side courtyard. Once he had fabricated those stories, when he was asked for witnesses, he gave witnesses. When he was asked for evidence, he gave evidence. For a while, he was able to scare the locals at Nanjiang. After their standing in Nanjiang became solid, Zhongyuan had Xian Rui personally asked to be demoted to a prince of the second rank. Half a year later, the first and long overdue annual reward from the capital arrived. It had been February 6, Zhongyuan's 17th birthday. Zhongyuan's birthday passed in peace and he let out a slight breath of relief. Then he started to worry again. After these officials who sent the annual reward returned to the capital, would they casually mention the romance between him and Yushi? At that time, when Prince Ning had suffered his downfall, Prince Yu's estate had been one of the main instigators behind it. Later on, they hit Prince Ning's estate when it was down. Until now, whenever Xian Rui had so much as thought of them, he felt the urge to eat them alive. Zhongyuan was able to accept what had transpired. However, he was worried that after Yushi heard of the lies he had woven, he would burst in fury. Then request from his uncle the emperor an imperial edict that would flatten Prince Jian'an's estate that instant. 1 year passed. Then 2. The rumors in the capital spread but Yushi's side did not make any movements. During that period, there had been a brave prefecture magistrate who, during the time he had arrived at the capital to report to the court, brought an old fan that Zhongyuan had said belonged to the young Prince Yu. And as he prepared to knock on the main gates of Prince Yu's estate, he carried it with him. The moment this prefecture magistrate had arrived at the capital, Zhongyuan planned for a funeral. However, unexpectedly, the prefectural magistrate returned with a radiant face a few months later. The prefecture magistrate brought back many gifts. He thanked Zhongyuan immensely. At that time, Zhongyuan was frightened to the bone. He hesitated before asking, Sui Yu. Is he well? Yu Shi's courtesy name was Sui Yu. In a generous manner and with much excitement, the prefecture magistrate praised Yu Shi to the heavens. Zhongyuan cautiously asked, then what sir had wanted? Delighted beyond measure, the prefecture magistrate said, of course he permitted it. Once he took the token, the prefecture magistrate coughed. The former affection between the two of you will naturally be well. Before he had even turned 20, Zhongyuan had been forced to train himself to the point where he became slick and sly to the extreme. Only then was he able to maintain his composure and propriety on that day. And tried his best, with impeccable etiquette, to send off the overjoyed prefecture magistrate. This humble official dares not delude oneself, but the prince said at least for half a year. This humble official really cherished the memory. Only then was this humble official able to think, could it be? Zhongyuan left his thoughts. He smiled courteously at the county magistrate who was still blabbering, understanding that the latter had come for something. He stroked the jade medallion hanging from his waist. This was the last thing he had stolen from Yu Shi. Originally, Zhongyuan had wanted to keep it. But then he recalled how this county magistrate had treated Xian Rui with much courtesy during the first few days they had arrived at Nanjiang. As such, Zhongyuan owed him a debt of gratitude. In Zhongyuan's whole life, what he was most unwilling to do was to owe someone. He removed the jade medallion hanging from his waist. He smiled and said, this was worn by young Prince Yu back in his youth. He'll recognize it with just a glance. The county magistrate was ecstatic. He reached out with his palms facing up to receive it. And then made his way out the door, still enveloped in utter joy. Zhongyuan rose to his feet and followed the other man to send him off. Hurry on your way. They needed to leave for the capital today. Prince Jian'an's estate should be in a state of disarray by now. The servants rushed to deliver the luggage, scurrying in and out of the doors. From afar, the old steward of the prince's estate watched as the county magistrate left. Then the steward no longer paid attention to him. Standing in the courtyard, he lifted his head to check the position of the sun. He still resented the servants for moving too slowly, and continuously yelled, faster. Tie the horse to young miscarriage first. Prepare the inner courtyard first. The steward managed everything at once. He looked back and saw Zhongyuan approaching. Then he went to receive him, expression unhappy. For what reason have you come? Nothing much. I'm here to send the county magistrate off. The prince was too impatient to receive him. So I dealt with him instead. Zhongyuan smiled. Casually, he took the heavy crate of books from the hands of a nearby servant girl. As he placed the crate on the carriage, he said, no need to rush. They haven't finished cleaning up the interior yet. The servant girl curtsied to Zhongyuan. Cheeks flushed, she lowered her head and rushed back to the central room. Zhongyuan was a pleasant sight for the eyes. His figure was tall and slender. That he had a good personality and did not possess a haughty attitude was hard to come by. He was kind to everyone, in his 20s and not yet wed. The servant girls of the estate all liked him very much. The old steward, Yan Pingshan, drew his brows together tightly. This isn't your duty. Go wait inside. Zhongyuan finished tying up the crate of books. He slapped it as he said, waiting is boring. Yan Pingshan did not comment on that. Then he said in a low voice, these past few years, His Majesty has never remembered our prince during His Majesty's birthday. So why did he do so this year? A light smile graced Zhongyuan's lips. It's nothing. Voice thick with worry, Yan Pingshan said, His Highness' inner chamber was lit up through all of last night. He had just turned 17 last month. At such a young age, Is it possible to not travel to the capital now that His Majesty has asked for His Highness to come? After the little servant girl left Zhongyuan's sight, he softly said, His Majesty just cannot be at ease. He wants to see these children. So let him see them. Once he has and feels relieved, he would naturally let us return. At that time, we will live out our days in peace. But Yan Pingshan still appeared to have something to say. Zhongyuan's voice grew even softer. Xian Rui has the position of prince of the second rank over his head. He will come of age very soon. Is it not possible not to let His Majesty take a look at him? Yan Pingshan furrowed his brows. Then why does he want to see second young Master Yu and young Miss for? They're still so young. Young Master Yu was Xian Yu. The young Miss name was Xian Kengxin. They were Prince Ning's dragon and phoenix twins. A smile blossomed on Zhongyuan's lips. You're also aware that the two of them are young. And as such, they are even less of a threat. Would His Majesty be able to cause problems for those two children? Moreover, they still have me. Yan Pingshan still had the urge to say something but was unable to utter a word in the end. With Zhongyuan around, it seemed there really wasn't anything to be worried about. By the period of Shi, the people of the estate finally finished packing up and placing the luggage on the carriages. The Prince Qian and Xian Rui led his younger brother Xian Yu outside. Xian Yu was only 10 years old and ignorant of the world. Once he had heard they would be leaving the estate, he was full of joy. He darted his eyes left and right, telling the servants to go faster. Xian Rui smiled bitterly. He lifted his younger brother onto the carriage. Your Highness, said Zhongyuan by the horse-drawn carriage. He helped support Xian Rui on board. In a low voice, he said, there's no need to think too much. Xian Rui's furrowed brows illustrated his worry. He glanced back, looking straight into the eyes of Zhongyuan. The worry in his heart dispelled a bit and he nodded before entering the carriage. Zhongyuan climbed atop his horse. He pulled the reins, so that the horse's head turned back as it trotted, his gaze falling upon Xian Kengxin. After making sure that nothing was wrong, he pulled the reins once more and the horse let out a shrill neigh. The long fleet of carriages gradually moved forward. Prince Jian'an's estate had never acted on pageantry. There weren't any people striking gongs or yelling for the crowd to make way. The servants were quiet in their march. Once they were on the street, the dust they kicked up was even less than the other passerby. 2 months later, they arrived at the suburbs. Another half-day and they would reach the imperial capital. The people of Prince Jian'an's estate took a short break. Zhongyuan had been tossed around on horseback for 2 months, his whole body was sore. Now he lay down on the bench in the carriage and rested. All of a sudden, the carriage sank. His eyes burst open. Exhausted, he asked, Uncle Yan, what's going on? He sat up. Before he could even pull the curtain aside, someone crawled into the carriage. Joy struck Zhongyuan. Lin Si. Lin Si was skilled in martial arts, he had quietly entered the carriage unbeknownst to anyone. Inside, he knelt before Zhongyuan. Zhongyuan pulled him to his feet. Have you prepared the things I've asked for? Lin Si nodded, retrieving a paper travel permit from his sleeve. Zhongyuan received it, a smile tugging on his lips. My self-selling contract is, still at Prince Yu's estate. In a little while, if I enter the capital and someone interrogates and examines me, perhaps they will make trouble for me due to my identity as a slave. Having this will be a great help. Lin Si was mute. After hearing Zhongyuan's words, he broke into a faint smile. With sign language, he told Zhongyuan to be at ease. Lin Si had been Zhongyuan's reading partner when he had still been a child in the Zhong family's estate. Following the events of Prince Ning, they were both sold to Prince Yu's estate. After that, Zhongyuan accompanied Prince Ning's 3 children to Nanjiang. Lin Si stayed behind in the capital and was secretly helping Zhongyuan manage the matters there. Using sign language was too slow, so Lin Si took out some paper and a brush. He wrote a report of everything he needed to tell Zhongyuan. Zhongyuan lit his handheld brazier, burning each sheet of paper after he had read it. The carriage shook. Within it was thick with silence. Only the sounds of squeaking wheels and crackling of flames could be heard. 2 hours later, Jean-Juan let out a light sigh. It's close to what I had predicted. Lindsay used sign language to say, everything has already been prepared appropriately. There is no need to worry. Jean-Juan nodded. After a moment of silence, he hesitated before saying, who? Lindsay's quiet gaze fell upon Jean-Juan, and he patiently waited. Jean-Juan laughed mockingly toward himself. He said in a low voice, was it? Young Prince Yu. Lindsay's stare was still on Jean-Juan. He waited for him to continue speaking. In his thoughts, Jean-Juan cursed the fact that Lindsay could not talk and was unable to read others. Only after hitting him would he move a bit. He could only directly ask, how is young Prince Yu? Lindsay's next words had their worth weighed in gold, very good. The two fell into a bout of silence. Time passed peacefully for about 5 minutes. In the face of fortune, Lindsay understood things he had yet to understand before. He signed, Master wants to know what happened to him. Feeling uneasy, Jean-Juan said, in any case, he's still my lover in name. Now that I'm about to enter the capital, it should be fine to show some concern for him. Lindsay thought for a moment. Once again he picked up paper and a brush, and wrote. Jean-Juan took his time reading the words. He's a year younger than me. Jean-Juan fed sheet after sheet of paper into the handheld brazier. Softly he said, he should be 23 this year. Why, has he yet to marry? Don't tell me, he was held back by the rumors of our romance. Lindsay shook his head. Then he wrote, young Prince Yu came of age 3 years ago. His Majesty and Royal Princess Angwo had searched for many excellent young ladies from renowned families to match with young Prince Yu. But young Prince Yu rejected it with no exceptions. Lindsay wrote down many names of daughters of good families. Jean-Juan frowned. Why was he unsatisfied? Then who else did he want? Lindsay wrote, young Prince Yu said he wanted Princess Hui Yang. Princess Hui Yang, the 4th princess of the reigning emperor. Jean-Juan choked on his spit. Hui Yang has only just turned 9 years old. Has he gone mad? Once again, Lindsay shook his head. He wrote that Shi hadn't gone mad. That he was still of very sound mind. Jean-Juan could not help but laugh. His Majesty has spoiled him too much. It can't be that he actually agreed. Lindsay wrote, no, His Majesty had been furious. He almost beat up young Prince Yu. Jean-Juan's heart trembled. Near whisper, he said, in my youth, I accompanied Xian Rui to study in the imperial palace. And I came across a secret. Lindsay nodded. He wrote, it has been spread continuously that young Prince Yu is actually. Shhh. Jean-Juan shook his head. Lindsay paused. Then he wrote, in His Majesty's rage, he almost stripped from young Prince Yu his position of heir. Nevertheless, when the royal princess entered the palace that same night, His Majesty was finally persuaded not to do so. After that, young Prince Yu was so favored. Naturally, the matter was left unsettled. His Majesty treated young Prince Yu coldly for 2 months. Afterward, His Majesty showed him the usual imperial grace. And his marriage was delayed even further. A smile spread across Jean-Juan's lips. His Majesty isn't even that patient with his own sons. Once more did Jean-Juan furrow his brows. Although young Prince Yu has a bad temper, he would not do something like this. He clearly knew this marriage would fall through, so why deliberately anger His Majesty? Lindsay shook his head. Unable to understand the implications, Jean-Juan asked, what does you shaking your head mean? Lindsay did not write any further. He lifted his head. Stared at Jean-Juan with serious eyes. And he signed, I don't know the complete details, but in recent years, the temperament of young Prince Yu has changed. Don't see him unless it's necessary. End chapter. Those years in quest of honor mine. Chapter 2. His temperament changed, Zhongyuan softly repeated, brows slightly furrowed. Requesting to marry a 9-year-old princess truly didn't seem like something he would do. Lindsay thought that he had agreed with what he had said, so he started discussing other things. They would be entering the capital in 2 hours. Lindsay would have to leave soon, so Zhongyuan didn't dare to waste their time together. He buried the doubts in his heart and pulled himself together to listen to what Lindsay had to say. Lindsay wrote, at the beginning of the year, Third Prince became ill again and almost didn't make it. Third Prince has been in poor health since he was young. He is already 34 this year, yet still has not fathered a child. The doctors at the Imperial Academy of Medicine dare not say anything explicitly, but, he probably won't last many more years. Zhongyuan furrowed his brows. The third prince was about to die, too. Speaking of this, the emperor was quite unfortunate. His 2 previous sons had died early too. First prince died at age 12 and second prince died at age 3. In between them, 2 princesses had passed as well. After much hardship, he finally managed to conceive third prince, but third prince was born with a weak constitution and was frequently plagued with illness. They had spent so much effort making sure he lived until now, but he was still likely to die soon. His Majesty was approaching 60 this year, but only 3 of his sons remained. He had no grandsons either. Aside from the third prince, the only sons in good health he had were the 22 years old fourth prince Xianjing and the 20 years old fifth prince Xianqiang. Lindsay hesitated and decided not to write the next part down. He slowly gestured. In the early years, a prophet once said that His Majesty's throne came from unclear origins and not from the mandate of heaven. He couldn't receive the blessings of the heavens, so he sought to change destiny himself. This would most certainly harm his ability to have descendants, which is why most of His Majesty's children haven't been able to survive. Zhongyuan responded nonchalantly, aren't a couple of them still alive now? There are already 2 mature and healthy princes. They're enough. Lindsay furrowed his brows. I understand what you mean, said Zhongyuan, smiling. The emperor's sons have a habit of dying young. You're worried that he's going to be unhappy seeing Xian Rui and Xian Yu and have other thoughts. The most plausible explanation as to why His Majesty has suddenly called us into the capital is this. Lindsay nodded. Zhongyuan comforted him by saying, which is why before we came, I already told Xian Rui an exaggerated version of all these things. He's been so scared that he hasn't been able to eat or sleep well for the past few days. The whole trip, he's been wrought with anxiety and has gotten a whole lot thinner. His eyes look dead and his appearance has become extremely frail. When His Majesty sees him like this, he will definitely be at ease. Lindsay couldn't help smiling. So, this trip was necessary, Zhongyuan calmly said. It's useless no matter how hard we try to stay out of the way. The only thing that will really convince him is if he can see them with his own eyes. That would be the only way he would be willing to let them off the hook. Lindsay slightly relaxed. Lindsay then started asking about Zhongyuan's health. When the 2 of them had gone their separate ways back in the day, Zhongyuan had been so ill he had been unable to leave the bed. Lindsay had been worried about him all this time. Lindsay took Zhongyuan's pulse and signed, I heard Uncle Yan say that even after recovering, you still feel the lingering effects of that sickness from time to time. When the weather turns cold, you most certainly will fall ill again. It's already winter now, It's a trifling matter. I'm already mostly well. Zhongyuan waved his hand dismissively. He wasn't worried about his own body at all. You just said. Lindsay waited quietly. You said, Zhongyuan pursed his lips as he continued, you said that, his temperament has changed. After going into a roundabout way, he returned the subject to Yushi. Zhongyuan knew Yushi at the age of 13. He had been in the same studies as him for 3 years and then spent 6 months together. He was familiar with him. He couldn't figure out how did this person change exactly. Lindsay knew that Jean-Juan wouldn't want to believe this, so grabbed another piece of paper and started writing furiously. The first year after you all left, the incident with Prince Ning came to a conclusion and the capital city returned to its original peaceful state. A year later, out of the blue, young Prince Yu suddenly asked the emperor for an order to remove his title of heir. Jean-Juan was speechless. A long pause later, he asked, why would he do that? After giving birth to Yu Shi, royal Princess Angguo had no longer been able to conceive. His Majesty had pitted Prince Yu's scarce number of children and granted him several concubines. Prince Yu had 2 illegitimate sons. If Yu Shi lost his title of heir, one of the illegitimate sons would inherit it instead. Lindsay shook his head and sighed, don't know. Jean-Juan laughed dryly. Let's first not discuss whether or not His Majesty would beat him to death. What about the princess? She didn't die from anger because of him, right? How did she punish him? Lindsay wrote, I don't know what the princess said. His Majesty was furious and placed young Prince Yu under house arrest in the palace. They only let him leave after 2 months of discipline. Jean-Juan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He grew up in the palace. What kind of house arrest is that? Lindsay continued to write, after this, young Prince Yu then volunteered to go to Beijiang. Jean-Juan sighed in awe. Amazing. Is he trying to stage a coup for his father? When the previous emperor had founded their state, he had made 6 people with different surnames from him princes of the first rank. These days, only Prince Yu's estate remained. Not only did the Yu family manage to survive, they even managed to maintain a strong influence in the court. But as a prince of the first rank with a different surname, many things were sensitive for him. Prince Yu clearly understood the relationship between an emperor and his subordinate, so he always tried to stay away from military affairs. Who knew that Yu Shi would break this taboo? Lindsay wrote, that day, Prince Yu brought his seal with him into the palace and kneeled in front of the main hall for 2 hours. Nobody could persuade him to stand. In the end, it was His Majesty himself who personally helped him up. Jean-Juan muttered, first offending the princess, then touching Prince Yu's taboo. Was he tired of living? Lindsay continued to write, it does seem so. Jean-Juan smiled in exasperation. A year later, royal Princess Angguo inadvertently discovered that young Prince Yu was consuming Han Shi-san, wrote Lindsay. What? The smile disappeared from Jean-Juan's face. He ate what? Lindsay drew a circle around the 3 characters Han Shi-san. Jean-Juan gritted his teeth. Why didn't he directly eat arsenic instead? What happened after? Lindsay wrote, the princess was furious. She kept young Prince Yu under house arrest for the entirety of half a year. Prince Yu asked for an order from the emperor to examine all the pharmacies in the capital and all the Daoist temples in the suburbs. They beat several treacherous merchants secretly selling this dangerous drugs. He only stopped after young Prince Yu fully recovered half a year later. Lindsay thought about it, then kept writing. Another year passed, and young Prince Yu. There wasn't enough time for him to finish writing everything. Jean-Juan silently observed, eyebrows furrowing more and more tightly together. Just a while ago, he had thought it strange how Yu Shi had come up with the idea of marrying the 9-year-old Princess Hui Yang. But now, this occurrence didn't seem so out of character anymore. Muttered Jean-Juan. What happened to him in these years? What unhappy event could have caused him to seek death so resolutely? Yu Shi was the sole child of royal Princess Angguo. He had been conceived in the year the previous emperor had passed. That year, royal Princess Angguo had become overly stricken with grief during the period of national mourning and almost lost her child. Later on, she had gone to stay at the previous emperor's tomb to pay her respects, not even managing to return to the capital in time for her delivery date. She had given birth to Yushi at the side estate by the royal mausoleum. Afterwards, she had likely harmed her body and hadn't been able to conceive another child since then. He was the princess's only son, so naturally, he was treated like a precious treasure. The Empress Dowager and Emperor both adored this child greatly. Yushi's name had even been given by His Majesty himself. When he turned 1, he had been bestowed the title of the prince's heir. At age 2, he was invited into the palace. From daily meals to accommodations, he was tended to exactly like a royal prince would have been. He was like a royal prince but not quite. The royal princes still had to fight each other openly and secretly for the title of crown prince. As the only blood-born son, Yushi had been guaranteed the title of prince's heir since birth. He was destined for a life filled with both riches and power. He didn't need to worry about anything. What could cause him to be so unhappy that he would treat himself in this way? In Zhonwan's memories, Yu Suiyu had an excellent character. Compared to others, Yushi was only slightly more antisocial. He didn't like interacting with others and almost seemed to have a permanent worried furrow between his brows. Unlike the older, more experienced, and harsher Prince Yu, Yushi did things openly. He knew exactly what those of noble character should do and should avoid, otherwise Zhonwan wouldn't have been able to survive until now. Lin Si saw that Zhonwan became temporarily lost in his own thoughts, so picked up the brush and started writing. Young Prince Yu seems to have become someone else altogether in these past few years. His actions have become unpredictable, his temperament sinister. Last year, he became in charge of the Dali Temple. His deeds have struck fear into many hearts. Once, I failed to successfully complete my mission and was caught by him. He almost directly killed me. Zhonwan's heart dropped. Lin Si worried that Zhonwan would stress himself over this, so he hurriedly added, "Don't worry. I told Fourth Prince ahead of time, so he transferred my case to the Ministry of Justice. They treated it as a minor misdemeanor and released me after a short investigation." Fourth Prince Xianzheng. Lin Si had been hiding on his estate all these years. Lin Si wrote on the paper, strokes heavy, "Young Prince Yu does not care for his old relationships." Zhonwan inhaled deeply, then nodded. Zhonwan leaned against the carriage's window and became silent for a period of time. He still couldn't understand. He said in a low voice, "Then 5 years ago, why did he?" Lin Si looked at Zhonwan, confused. He didn't understand. Zhonwan slowly relayed, 4 years ago, the prefecture magistrate of Jianan, Shenfu, reported to the court in the capital. Under my name, he went to Prince Yu's estate in search for financial help. Suiyu, he really helped take care of everything." Lin Si recalled this event and wrote, "It was very strange. Maybe at the time young Prince Yu hadn't gone so crazy yet. They had finally used up all the paper." Lin Si signed, "Speaking of this, it was this event that confirmed the stories about you and young Prince Yu." Zhonwan's mind was filled with thoughts. He lifted his gaze and asked, "Ah?" Lin Si signaled, "Because of this, everyone in the capital believed that the rumors regarding you two were true. Everyone truly thinks that young Prince Yu is infatuated with you, which is why he accommodates everything you do." Zhonwan was silent for a moment, then he asked, "Say that again." Lin Si was mute, so he couldn't really say anything. He could only make the gestures again. "Because of this, everyone in the capital believed that the rumors regarding you two were true. Everyone truly thinks that young Prince Yu is infatuated with you, which is why he accommodates everything you do." Lin Si thought that Zhonwan couldn't understand his gestures, so he was just about to find a blank space on the paper to write it down on, when he was stopped by a smiling Zhonwan. "I taught you all the sign language you know. How could I not understand?" The corners of Zhonwan's eyes crinkled into slight crescents. He held back his laughter as he said, "I just wanted to hear you say it again." Lin Si didn't know whether to laugh or cry. But after thinking about it in more detail, he started feeling apprehensive in his heart again. On the other hand, Zhonwan's expression was normal. Lin Si pondered a bit and gestured. When the rumors first started in the capital, they truly caught the attention of many. At the time, everyone was discussing them. I heard that after young Prince Yu first learned of the gossip, he became so angry that he got sick for a period of time. Zhonwan coughed. He picked up his teacup to take a sip. Lin Si sighed again. According to the fourth prince, one day, in the spur of the moment, His Majesty specifically asked young Prince Yu whether or not the rumors were true. Zhonwan choked. Lin Si helpfully patted Zhonwan's back before adding on, that day, young Prince Yu walked out of the palace. His expression was extremely foul. After he had returned to his own estate, he didn't eat and didn't speak. The royal princess thought that he had argued with the emperor again, so she especially called him to the princess estate to ask him about it later that night. She probably also asked about the rumors, because after leaving the princess estate, young Prince Yu's face was dark. Really, really dark. Terrifyingly dark. It's a good thing that he's naturally good looking, or it would have been truly horrifying. Zhonwan's stomach hurt from trying to hold in his laughter. Lin Si sighed. Of course, only His Majesty and the princess could ask him directly. After everyone saw his attitude regarding the issue, they didn't dare to bring your name up in front of him at all. But later, Lin Si swallowed and continued, there were simply too many people gossiping. It's uncertain if there were so many rumors that he became numb to it, or if he realized that most already believed the rumors, but young Prince Yu gave up and stopped trying to explain anything. He was practically forced to admit it was true. Lin Si thought about it and signaled, perhaps he heard the story too many times, so he started believing it himself. Nobody is bold enough to speak of this publicly in the capital, but the customs of Jiangnan are much less strict. People have written songs and plays about it there. One year, young Prince Yu took a trip to the area while in disguise and spent an entire evening listening to opera about U2 on a pleasure barge in Suzhou. He even left a hefty tip upon leaving. Zhonwan's expression was indescribable. After hearing this, he really didn't dare to meet Yushi again. End chapter.